Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So we are on the sixth chapter of this book, Krishna Consciousness, the Topmost Yoga System. This chapter is entitled the Hare Krishna Mantra. So as we have been seeing, all the chapters have some origin. And interestingly enough, most of them are actually based on 1968 lectures by Srila Prabhupada, which were later converted into articles in 1969 for the Back to Godhead magazine. We saw one of the chapter was a direct lecture of Srila Prabhupada in 1969, 1970, like that, 1969. So then this chapter itself is actually originating from a record which in 1966 the devotees had made. So it is called an LP album, long play. From those who are from the earlier times, they will remember the round black disc which played on some gramophone kind of like player. So I just have the photo here. I was just looking through it. So you can see this. There was an album that was made in 1966. The album's title is Krishna Consciousness. That is the LP's title, it's called. So it was published by It's Happening Records. And 3 tracks were there. The first, the Hare Krishna mantra chant by Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada was sitting and chanting. That was recorded. Next is B1, address, the other side, address of Swami, AC Bhakti Vedanta. So this is what we are going to read right now in this chapter. Prabhupada's address, what he speaks. This Hare Krishna, this transcendental vibration, Prabhupada speaks, very famous audio. And the other side also has the chant to the mercy of the spiritual master. This is where Srila Prabhupada sings, Samsara dava nalalita loka Trannaya karunya gana ganatvam. So it's very beautiful. For those who have never seen an LP, you can see the cover. This is the cover of the album here. Radha Krishna on top of it. Krishna Consciousness, AC Bhaktivedanta Swami. Right? And this is the back side of it, where it's written Srila Prabhupada's photo and about the album of about Hare Krishna MAHA-MANTRA. You can see the round disc here. Happening Records present Krishna Consciousness. 1, address of Swami Bhaktivedanta. 2, chant by the mercy of spiritual master. One side, A side, B side, like that. So very historic, 1966, the first Srila Prabhupada recording here in the studio. Right. So let us now read what Srila Prabhupada had to say, which was recorded and now presented in this small book. The transcendental vibration established by the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, is the sublime method for reviving our transcendental consciousness. As living spiritual souls, we are all originally Krishna conscious entities, but due to our association with matter from time immemorial, our consciousness is now adulterated by the material atmosphere. Srila Prabhupada, he's just giving out kirtan, Hare Krishna kirtan, but at the same time, he wants to give out gyan also, knowledge as well. So someone who's hearing this and liking the chant, they got to know what is this chanting? So Prabhupada is saying that, this chanting Hare Krishna mantra is the means by which we can revive our original consciousness. The material atmosphere in which we are now living is called Maya or illusion. Maya means that which is not. Ma means no, Ma-aya, not this. Ma-aya, not this. And what is that illusion? What is this illusion? The illusion is that we are all trying to be lords of material nature. We're all trying to control material nature, while actually we are under the grip of a stringent laws, right? We're trying to be master, trying to control everything, but we forget that we are also controlled. When a servant artificially tries to imitate the all-powerful master, that is called illusion. We are trying to exploit the resources of material nature, but actually we are becoming more and more entangled in her complexities. Right? People are trying to harvest oil, cut down trees, exploit nature. But then what happens? We become stuck in the process. We are now so dependent on oil and petroleum and plastic that we can't live without it. From everything from transportation, goods, logistics, everything is running on oil. Therefore, although we are engaged in a hard struggle to conquer nature, we are ever more dependent on her. This illusory struggle against material nature can be stopped at once by revival of our eternal Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare is a transcendental process for reviving the original pure consciousness. By chanting this transcendental vibration, one can cleanse away all misgivings within the heart. Right? So this it is mentioned that Nitya Siddha Kṛṣna Prema Sadhya Kabunai. This Kṛṣna Prema is Nitya Siddha. It's eternally situated within our heart. Sadhya Kabunai. It's not something that you need to purchase or get from outside. Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte. By the process of Shravan, Kirtanam, like that, Shravan Adi, Shravanam and etc. By the process of hearing, Shuddha Chitte, the heart becomes Shuddha, the heart becomes pure. Karaye Udhay, and then the true nature starts to Udayam, starts to appear again, our original nature. So then all the misgivings are cancelled within the heart. The basic principle of all such misgivings is the false consciousness that I am the Lord of all I serve. The biggest false consciousness we have in our heart is that we think that I'm the master of everything. Krishna consciousness is not an artificial imposition on the mind. Prabhupada's most famous line. That means it is not that you're trying to be Krishna conscious. We're actually trying to get back or revive our Krishna conscious. I'm not being a devotee. I'm just being who I am. Those who are not being a devotee, they're actually forgotten and they're trying to be someone else. This consciousness is the original natural energy of the living entity. When we hear the transcendental vibration, this consciousness is revived. So because this Hare Krishna MAHA-MANTRA is a prayer, like Prabhupada is going to explain, that we are servants of the Lord. So it reminds us directly that we are of servitude. The simplest method of meditation is recommended for this age. By practical experience also, one can perceive that by chanting this MAHA-MANTRA, or the great chanting for deliverance, one can at once feel a transcendental ecstasy coming true from the spiritual stratum, from the spiritual sphere. In the material concept of life, we are busy in the matter of sense gratification as if we were in the lower animal stage. A little elevated from this status of sense gratification, one is engaged in mental speculation. So on a very low sense, everyone is very grossly engaged, just trying to fulfill the bodily needs, eating, sleeping, mating, defending. A little higher than that is someone who starts to do some intellectual or mental jugglery, speculation, for the purpose of getting out of the material clutches. A little more elevated from this speculative status, one is intelligence enough. So body, mind, now intelligence is intelligent enough. One tries to find out the supreme cause of all causes within and without. And when one is factually on the plane of spiritual understanding, surpassing the stages of sense, mind, and intelligence, he is then on the transcendental plane. This chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra is enacted from the spiritual platform. So this mantra has its source from the spiritual world. And thus this sound vibrates, surpasses all lower strata of consciousness, namely sensual, mental, and intellectual. It goes beyond all this. There is no need, therefore, to understand the language of the mantra. Very interesting. Because it is fully spirit, it's not on bodily, mind, or intellectual. There's no need to understand the language. Just the vibration alone is Sakshat Krishna, is Krishna himself. Nor is there any need for mental speculation, nor any intellectual adjustment for chanting this MAHA-MANTRA. It is automatic from the spiritual platform. And as such, anyone can take part in vibrating this transcendental sound without any previous qualification. So here Prabhupada is saying very beautifully how this holy name is so powerful, anyone, anywhere, anytime can chant. In a more advanced stage, of course, one is not expected to commit offenses on grounds of spiritual understanding. Right? So here Prabhupada is saying, yeah, everyone is hearing the chanting also, but if really one wants to advance on an advanced stage, then one should start avoiding the 10 offenses. So we all know the 10 offenses of the holy name are given in Padma Purana, right? And Prabhupada has written this in many places in the Bhagavatam, in purports also. So here Prabhupada is just saying that in general, holy name is for all, but if one really wants to advance, then one must avoid the 10 offenses. In the beginning, there may not be the presence of all transcendental ecstasies, which are 8 in number. So Prabhupada here is talking about the asta sattvika vikars. There are 8 transcendental ecstasies. When one's heart is suddenly filled with love of Godhead, one experiences these 8 things. What are these 8 things? These are being stopped as though dumb, perspiration, standing of the hairs and body, horripilation, dislocation of voice, trembling, fading of the body, crying in ecstasy, trance. So this comes in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. I'm just going to put out the verse here. So Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, describes the asta sattvika vikarbhavas as follows. So these are the asta sattvika vikas. Te stamba sveda romancha swaru bhedota vepatuhu vaivaranyam ashru pralaya iti ashtau sattvika smrita. Stamba means becoming stunned, so just shocked, out of love. Second, sweda, perspiration, sweating, feeling anxious because of love. Standing of hairs on end, romancha, horripilation, one is just feeling so excited. Faltering of the voice, swara bheda, the voice starts choking up, changing. Trembling, kampam, one kampa, one starts shaking. Loss of color, vaivaranya, one starts to become pale. Tears, ashru, one starts sometimes shedding tears out of love. And loss of consciousness of fainting, pralaya, right? Because of love. So Prabhupada is saying that in the beginning, this is not expected, right? And, someone in advanced stages may experience this. But there is no doubt that chanting for a while takes one immediately to the spiritual platform. So even if you don't experience all this, still one has a spiritual experience. And one shows the first symptom of this is in the urge to dance along with the chanting of the mantra. So what is the first symptom when one starts, you hear when people come to a temple and suddenly the kirtan goes, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, automatically everyone starts clapping the hands, swaying from side to side. It is ecstasy, Prabhupada is saying. We have seen this practically, Prabhupada is saying. Even a child can take part in this chanting and dancing. Of course, for one is too entangled in material life, it takes a little more time. Someone is so materially absorbed, it takes some time to come to the standard point. But even such a materially engrossed man is raised to this platform very quickly. So even if a person is so much materialistic, still by hearing the chanting, one can come out of it. When it is chanted by pure devotee of the Lord in love, it has the greatest efficacy on hearers. And as such, the chanting should be heard from the lips of a pure devotee of the Lord so that immediate effects can be achieved. That's why nowadays, we have these small chanting machines of Srila Prabhupada's voice, Prabhupada's chanting, and we play them in many places. We give them to people, ask them to please play in your home. Today, tomorrow, 10 years from now, it may take time. But eventually that sound vibration, if they're little attentive to it, if they're little respectful to it, that sound vibration will enter and touch their heart. As far as possible, chanting from the lips of non-devotees should be avoided. Sometimes there are cinematic songs sung by some movie stars and Bollywood stars or whatever, and it may be even the Hare Krishna MAHA-MANTRA, but one should be very careful who is vibrating the mantra because they are doing it for some ulterior purpose. Right? So Prabhupada, so we don't want to listen so much to movie stars and new ragas, and better from the lips of devotees. So as far as possible, Prabhupada says, we should be avoid. Prabhupada gives an example why you should avoid non-devotees chanting. Non-devotee chanting means hearing the chanting of non-devotees as a constant meditation. Milk touched by the lips of the serpent has poisonous effects. Okay, because they are chanting with the wrong intent, therefore that has a poisonous effect on the hearer, not on the holy name. Holy name is always pure. The word hara in the form of addressing the form of addressing the energy of the Lord. We say Hare Krishna, Hara. And the words Krishna and Rama are forms of addressing the Lord himself. Both Krishna and Rama mean the supreme pleasure, and Hara is the supreme pleasure energy of the Lord. So Krishna and Rama is God directly, and Hara is the energy of the Lord. Change to Hare, Hare in the vocative. When you're calling someone, like Radha, we call Radhe, like that. The supreme pleasure energy of the Lord helps us to reach the Lord. So this Hare Krishna Maha-Mantra is essentially a prayer to Srimati Radharani. Right? We are praying to Srimati Radharani that please engage me in the service of Krishna, who is all attractive. Sarvam Akarshiti iti Krishna. Or Rama, Ramante Yogino Anante. Lord Rama, who is always pleasurable. The material energy called Maya is also one of the multi-energies of the Lord. And we, the living entities, are also the energy, marginal energy of the Lord. Okay, material energy is Bahiranga Shakti, and we are Tatashta Shakti. The living entities are described as superior to material energy. When the superior energy is in contact with the inferior energy, that means when Jiva is in contact with Maya, an incompatible situation arises. But when the superior marginal energy is in contact with the superior energy called hara, it is established in his happy normal condition. So when the Jivatma, who's Tatashta Sakti, touches something lower like Maya or material energy, becomes covered. But the Tatashta Jiva, if it touches the spiritual energy, Srimati Radharani, right, hara, then he becomes happy normal condition. These three words, namely Hara, Krishna, and Rama, are the transcendental seeds of the Maha-Mantra, the Bija. The chanting is a spiritual call for the Lord and his energy to give protection to the conditioned souls. So here protection means what? Protection means protect us from falling into Maya. Please lift me up. That is the kind of protection. This chanting is exactly like a genuine cry for the child for his mother's presence. So here Srila Prabhupada is explaining how the mood of chanting should be like a child crying for the mother. Please, my Lord, please help me. Right? I want to be your devotee. I want to be a sincere devotee. I want to be a nice devotee. I want to love and serve your devotees. That should be like the mood that is the devotee possesses. Mother Hara, Radharani, helps the devotee achieve the Lord Father's grace. And the Lord reveals himself to the devotee who chants this mantra sincerely. No other means of spiritual realization is as effective in this age of quarrel, Kali, and hypocrisy as the Maha-Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So that is this chapter, which is directly a recording from the long play LP Krishna Consciousness album, hardly a minute. Beautiful. Srila Prabhupada has explained. So we will stop here. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.